Hello buddy, my name is Eric, and today we're going to be taking a look at some software by this guy. Now, I was told on Discord about this guy and his sketchy project, and I thought we'd take a look at this and the more general concept of, well, first of all, what is called a double hook, and generally, I guess we call this scamming the scammers in a way. These are people who use hack tools as a form to distribute malware. I saw an interesting example recently with an XORM that was double hooked, a cracked XORM. So here we go, preset Nuke. So this is something that is intended to basically, this is a trolling thing for joining Discords. So the main thing to note is just the fact that this is not as legit as it would seem, and the fact that it's open source doesn't necessarily protect you, because there are a lot of things that can be achieved. Now, they already tried the method I've shown in a few of my videos, which I guess we can call the ChatGPT or the Claude method for deobfuscation, where you simply use a chatbot to deobfuscate, but sometimes that's not good enough. So we have a couple of options. So the call we're looking for is to os.dot, because it's actually going to call... let's just actually download this, and we'll set up a code editor on the VM so that we can get a better look at what's going on here. It's actually clever. So, and I didn't even see this when we're on the website. But what they've done is, because some people who don't know a lot about Python actually might not know that Python is not a semicolon mandatory language, but this is absolutely valid Python, where you can simply insert an ungodly amount of spaces, a colon, or a semicolon, and then we get this very hard to discover. Now, of course, if you ever end up with this, you have no reason, like, any legitimacy of this software is now out the window. But okay, we're going to move this to another file, and we're going to sort of beautify this. The first thing I'm going to do, because this is probably, like, the main place where the ChatGPT method doesn't work is if there are steps that it cannot, like, I guess we'd say, we'll personify it. We'll say mentally it can't do. So, we're going to install cryptography, fernet, and request. Got to restart my VS Code because I installed Python late. And really all we should have to do here, other than getting rid of these redundant calls, is we can actually just print this. Now that we've got all of the data that we need, we can just go print. And here is the first stage. So this is not very stealthy. 132 stealer user ID equals 4 dot text dot request dot pre. Okay, so let's see what 1312 stealer is going to get us. I'm hoping it's going to be some... Okay, then what we can do is we can actually just run this the way. These guys are essentially doing what the anti-scraper guys do, but in reverse, where they're actually blocking anything that looks like a real browser. And this is actually just another Python script. Here we go. I tried copy and pasting, but copy and pasting on the VS Code terminal on Windows, for whatever reason, doesn't work. So, all right. So, take away these pre-tags. And really all we have to do is get rid of this line. And then we can just put stage 3. I'm just putting .mal to make these until we have neutralized them. Now, I think this is actually an exe. Of course, we're doing this on a VM, so if I mess up, nothing horrendous is going to happen. Okay, this also does not belong. And this once again installs fernet in case we forgot to. Okay, we don't want that exec, so we can simply do s equals, and we can actually write that out as well. Now, stage 3 is mostly the same, but okay, so this just does this, and then of course we have to replace the exec with another write, and then we get number 5. Wow, this is actually a rabbit hole. So, okay, now it seems like we actually do have some new things to install. PyWin32, PyWin32. It's actually not a package I've seen before. PyCryptoDome, which is going to be a different crypto package. And of course, requests again. I don't know why it keeps installing its previous dependencies unless these are intended to be separate. And this one also uses a different request. So I don't know if there's some skidding going on here where they're borrowing other people's code, because otherwise it doesn't make a ton of sense. This actually appears to be the final legit stealer. Well, I'm guessing that 1312 stealer is probably some sort of malware as a service. Actually, let's see if we get rid of the /paste. Is there going to be some sort of... Okay. So we can contact this guy on Telegram if we're interested. Oh, and he's got the handle SIM swapping. Oh, he's a G. He's a real one. He's like, oh, he's such a hacker. Okay. So here we get the actual source code, and I'm guessing then what that Win32 is going to be needed for, and the crypto is to actually decrypt your cookies. Because while you can run this user mode with no admin on Windows and still steal your cookies, you do have to do a decrypt that requires either your password or to be signed in as you. Okay, and it's also going to steal certain browser extensions, and it knows where your wallets are, user profile, documents, downloads, OneDrive, desktop, and we got some nice keywords. Allowed extensions, txt, log. Okay, these are the things it is going to steal. And here's so it can steal your Discord, and it'll probably message all your friends. Hey, this is great. And then we upload to delivery. And this is what our headers look like. So if we want to have some fun, oh, we would never send them random junk. I'm not insinuating that anybody would ever do anything mean like that to this upstanding citizen. Oh, and it even validates the Discord tokens. Wow, they've done. This is a pretty decent stealer. I'm always kind of hesitant in terms of, obviously I'll show it in the video. I'm always kind of hesitant in terms of whether it's a net positive or net negative. If I were, let's say, to copy and paste this on a GitHub so people could see how it works, because then they might less than honest people. And here we can see with these user agent strings, this is the magic. This is how stealer command and control servers will usually avoid having their operation just instantly bombed. But it's trivially easy to get around that if you really want to. And here's, I've actually, when I did my test stealer, I wrote this function using Rust, but it works the same way. You decrypt unprotected data, you get the key, which essentially on the Chrome keys, there's a key function within it. And that's how we do that. I'm not going to explain the whole thing because I don't actually want to teach people how to steal Chrome cookies. What I've made is a simple app that will simply echo any requests sent to it, so we can see exactly how this would work. Normally I'd be using MITM proxy, but we don't have to do that because we've got something even easier. And we'll kill this HVNC, or we can just replace it because nothing will happen. Okay, just had to run that again because I'd done. Okay, so here we go. So of course for that one we don't get a body, but here we do. So bot token. Now this, I'm guessing, is going to be, because, oh no, I know what this is, because if this was intended to be a Discord nuker, but of course we don't actually do that. Passwords.txt. Now I don't think there's anything super interesting in that. Okay, I added some passwords to my Chrome, so now we can actually see what it would look like if we had a Chrome profile with some actually interesting data. And I think if we scroll up, we can see it. Yep. Chase.com. Yeah, so all of your passwords are sent just the way you'd expect them to be, and we can probably find our cookies if we have any. And we do see that it attempts to steal anything in the browser, and then it pivots to trying to download a HVNC payload so that our victim could end up with even more malware.
Now, if we go and search GitHub for Discord Nuker and search for the latest, we can find dozens of these, all running roughly the same scam, although some of the latest versions are not so well obfuscated, like this one, where if you opened the file, hopefully you would immediately know this is not legit. Unfortunately, some people not so on it. Now, two questions you might have is, what are the abusers doing with this, and also, why bother warning people who use such tools? Well, the problem is, you might think, well, okay, great, they're getting punished. No. The reality is, these tools are in fact used for Discord raiding and nuking, just not by the people downloading them. What happens is, if you download these bogus Discord tools, your token and your computer is taken over, and then if they want to launch an attack on someone's Discord server, they can do so with hundreds of real aged accounts without any trouble. We personally saw it happen in our Discord server twice. And of course, luckily we were able to ban them, and they weren't able to nuke because we didn't give them permission, but it was a nuisance. So that's what they're doing.
Now, the other one I'm going to show is the XORM crack that I saw someone get hacked by. Okay, so we're not getting that one because, okay, we're not getting this one either. Okay, so I'll just explain what it did then, because I don't want to sign into Telegram on the VM and then run the rat that's going to rat the VM. That wouldn't be very smart. So basically, what it would do is it would give you the modified async rat. That all worked as expected, but it came with a bonus where it installed an XORM, which is a different but related rat, onto the host system. So anyone who decided to download the cracked async rat got a lovely surprise, which honestly is kind of deserved. So that's going to be all for this video. Hope it was interesting, either from the perspective of going through and analyzing the stages manually to see how that can be done, and also if you didn't know that a lot of so-called hack tools come with some unwanted baggage of their own. That's all for now. Bye.